let's talk about the testimony from former special counsel Hur, Robert Hur, who had interviewed the president regarding his, the president's, not hers, but his handling of classified documents, right? So you have this situation, the current President Biden, former vice president, and before that senator, had classified materials in his possession. He was not authorized to have them outside of a secure compartmented information facility, otherwise known as the SCIF, and he had them at home in his garage, not secured properly, right? So the special counsel interviews him and makes a few odd determinations as to whether or not to charge. He says he's a well-meaning older man or elderly gentleman, and that he was talking about maybe him having some memory problems or cognitive decline. So, Stu, in your experience as an officer of the court, I mean, I'll take it from the law enforcement side later, but when do you take those factors into account when you're simply looking to charge?
So I liked him. I thought he was credible. I thought he was almost honest, but not to the point, because he really, at the end of the day, let Joe Biden off the hook. And let me just explain this to you. I've had cases, historical cases, where someone has committed a crime, and let's just say a sexual battery or a sexual assault to a minor, and now 20 years later, the minor is an adult, and the minor as an adult goes to law enforcement, and now they conduct an investigation. My client, who unfortunately has been diagnosed with cancer, congenital heart disease, let's just say, medically speaking, they're terminal or they're incapacitated, meaning they're in bad shape. That incapacity is not a defense to the underlying criminal potential charges, meaning to the elements of the crime. The incapacity or the mental infirmary or the health condition is a potential assessment point for the prosecution not to determine innocence or guilt.
But punishment.
But also it opens up the door for prosecutorial discretion to say, we're not excusing this person's behavior. We believe they did it, but we think that if we go through and expend all of these resources, at the end of the day, the person is probably going to be dead. It is not an affirmative defense that Joe Biden today in 2024 or in late 2023 can't tie his shoes and chew gum at the same time. That is not a defense to something he did 10 years ago, because had they looked at it 10 years ago when he had his mental faculties, he would have been charged and he would have gone to jail. And so so for me, Hur took it to the goal line, and it was within his ability to push it over into the end zone.
So you're saying he fumbled at the goal line.
He fumbled at the goal line. But I will tell you, he's the closest one to maintain some impartiality and some degree of legitimacy and credibility.